Alright friends, it's T and I'm back with another video. I just lost my spot. I gotta do this again. Alright, it's Prophetfears reacting to me, reacting to Team Support, Superiority, Team Genetic, whatever, Beast reacting. I reacted to him, reacting to my video. Now I'm reacting to this video, whatever. Reaction of a reaction, who knows. Anyways, let's hear what he has to say.
See?
Trying to get better?
Oh yeah, I forgot.
I'm asking you, are you trying to get better at lifting that, or are you trying to get some muscle damage out of it?
The bicep also does this. So it does this too. So it doesn't just...
Yes, it contorts. It's contortionist. Yes, it can do many things. It's great for playing golf too. Yes, okay.
do this.
Yes,
it also
yes,
does
yes.
this. So,
Yes.
I mean, it actually does this, but because we do the opposite, we do that.
Yeah, when you do that, it could possibly even rip off the bone. So, yeah, it could do a lot of things, man. You can cripple yourself too, very easily.
Four functions.
Lifting these dumbbells, or are you trying to get what? Some muscle damage in there?
I could tell you this much. If you're adapted to something, you are wearing your body out. That's what you're doing. You're wearing out your joints and everything. That's all you're doing there, really. You're a chronic lifter. You repeat lifts. You are a chronic lifter.
That's right. You are right. Let's go back to the literature.
Yes,
So,
I know I'm right. Oh, the literature. Here comes the literature.
let's get scientific with these little kids that watch your videos. So
Yes.
this is a study, right? It's a study from somewhere. You see that?
Somewhere over the rainbow. From somewhere over the rainbow. Okay. Sure, yeah, right, great.
They're looking at short
What are they looking at?
versus long range of
They're looking at short versus long range. Okay.
motion, short range of motion.
Yes, the sarcomere numbers in parallel and all that. Remember when I did that in my old videos back in 2018? This guy would come and scribble all over my board and get crazy with me, man. He fucking hated my channel for presenting evidence, sarcomeres and numbers and muscle damage and all that. He hated all that stuff. And now he changed all his exercises. They're muscle damage kind of exercises. It's stretch. It's the stretch. He's like, man, this guy is obsessed with this stretching thing or something. I don't know.
And then here are the results. This is the change in vastus lateralis size. That's a muscle.
The change. If there's a change in it, that's an adaptation. And then there are no more adaptations once it changes.
So vastus lateralis. You see here,
Yeah.
this little...
We know the body adapts to things by giving it an adaptation. It adapts to something through adaptations. And then you get no more adaptations. Get it? It happens once, it never happens again. And I can prove it.
This little line, this little bar right here, that's short. And this is long.
Yeah.
You see? This is
We know it's short. We know it's short because it's the concentric movement. The long movement is the eccentric. Okay, and?
short. It's short, and this is long, and it's long. And that's what they found was this was more muscle. This is bigger.
They did. They found this is the long and this is the short. How did they figure that this was short and then this was long? How did they figure eccentric was long and concentric was so short? How did they figure it out? Oh my God, they're geniuses, man.
The longer got bigger. Get it? We all
It got bigger. Yeah, it gets stretched, but there might not be any damage there. You're just stretching it because they're made up of sarcomeres.
know that. Everybody knows longer is better, longer makes you bigger and everything. But then if you actually look at more of what they...
No, longer doesn't make you bigger. Nothing will make you bigger. You could stay in a stretched position for hours at a time, staying in a stretched position, and your body may give you some, I don't know, some more muscle fibers. It could give you more muscle fibers because it sees this as an unusual thing. And it needs to strengthen itself by giving you more muscle fibers, like the bird with the lock on the end of its wing. It's causing a stretch. There's a pull. You can't really flap its wing because it's too heavy now, and the body thinks, well, we need to give it more muscles so it can flap its wing and fly. Yeah, you understand me? So there's use there.
say. What's happening is that you see, this is stretch mediated. This is stretch mediation training.
They call that hyperplasia. That type of hyperplasia, there are different types of hyperplasia. But that type where you actually sit on your feet with your legs bent back in a stretched position and you stay like that for hours, yeah, it's most likely you get a hyperplasia effect. You get more muscle fibers, tracts will lay down. These new fibers will lay down because this is an unusual position. It's unusual. The body thinks, what is this?
So they already talked about it. They don't know the mechanism for stretch mediation because nobody knows.
They know what it is. You can even walk around with like ankle weights on your wrists. They'll weigh down your traps. If they weigh down your traps and your shoulders and you walk around like that, you'll get a buildup of these muscle fibers. Yeah.
Maybe you do, maybe I do, but we can't say it.
I don't know if you do, but I definitely do understand how this all works because I've tried them all. You haven't. You've never experimented with anything. I did on my old channel, not a lot. I just started, my channel was new. I didn't have a chance to do a lot because COVID and all that, but I did quite a bit in 2018, definitely.
Because they'll say you don't have the study to back it up. I'm sure you have the explanation though, genetic beast, but they don't. These stupid scientists.
It's not an explanation. Your problem is that you never tried doing any of these things. You do conventional. Everything that you do is conventional. That's why I wrote unconventional exercises. I'm meaning unconventional, meaning that they're an exercise. It just means that it's not something that everybody does in the gym because they're used to doing conventional exercises. So I'm doing something unconventional, laying on the floor and pulling it in the opposite direction, or laying on the machine and pulling it in the opposite direction. They're always pulling it in the upward direction. I'm pulling it in the down direction. That's just a different way of doing certain things. It's about doing things that you're unfamiliar with. If you're familiar with, look, you can get an adaptation. You could be adapted, but get a new adaptation doing something that you're unfamiliar with. We do know that unaccustomed exercise is known to cause widespread muscle damage. That is not based, how should I put it? That could be too based on being adapted as well. It depends. I don't know. If you're doing something that you were unaccustomed to, let's say you're accustomed to doing all these exercises, but one day you do something you're unaccustomed to doing, and you do a lot of that thing that you're unaccustomed to. Will your muscles get damaged? Yes, but they won't get damaged with a repeated bout. It's a protective effect against rhabdo, a disease called rhabdo. So you coming in the gym anyways, there's different ways your muscles adapt. They adapt by growing muscles, and then they're stronger now, and then they're resilient from becoming damaged anymore. Get it? They're stronger. So what do you need to do? Well, you need to lift up really heavy. You got to go heavier. So you have to do something you're unfamiliar with or unaccustomed. You understand me? You understand this works? Maybe this is too complicated for you to understand.
Scientists don't know why, but you see, one of the reasons what they're saying is stretch mediated hypertrophy.
What are they saying?
May occur via the addition of muscle sarcomeres in series rather than just.
Okay, so you cause a stretch in the muscle fiber, yes? Okay, you cause a stretch in it, yeah. And it may cause hypertrophy. Do you know what the word hypertrophy, people throw that word around everywhere. Hypertrophy, it just means something is getting bigger. If you stretch the muscle and the muscle swells up, is that not hypertrophy? If you get an inflammatory response in the cells because you stretch them and they just inflame, they just swell, the cells swell, that is hypertrophy. But is that permanent? Not particularly. It's transient. It's just like when you get the pump. You move and you get the pump. A pump is transient. You got pumped up, but it's transient. It'll go away. It's artificial. It's not real. But it is hypertrophy though. Get it? It's like blood flow restriction. That's hypertrophy. You can get a bruise on your head. You can hit your head with a hammer. That's hypertrophy. How long will that hypertrophy last? I don't know. Maybe a couple days. You understand me, man? I think I think you really need to study this a lot more deeply. You don't understand any of this stuff.
Just in parallel. You see, Muscles can come in different angles. They could go parallel, series. It's all biological physiology.
Yes, parallel and series and so forth and so on. Yes, we know that it can lay down myotubes, and then the nuclei can attach the myotubes so they can synthesize more protein. That's what nuclei do. They synthesize protein. Without them, you can't further that domain.
Bullshit. It's
No matter how much protein you eat.
talking about length, thickness, length. That's what they're talking about.
Yes, thickness and length.
So that's why they're saying the muscle.
There's many types of muscle fibers. They're hybrid, there's small fibers, big fibers. Man, there are so many, there's many kinds. They're not just, the classified, the major ones, the type 2 and the type 1. Yeah. But it hides in type 1 when you're adapted. You're an endurance athlete. You're enduring your endurance. I don't even know if that's cardio too. There could be possibly a lot more cardio there too as well. I don't know. It's all relative. It's like long distance running. They're adapted. They run long distance. It's endurance and it's cardio. If one doesn't work without the other, it doesn't work. Both have to work together properly in order for you to win, but whatever. In a gym, man, it's all relative. I don't know. Yeah.
Fascicles become longer, not just thicker from this.
Look, bro, this is very boring for me, man. I've already mastered this shit years ago. I understand all this stuff to a T. I know exactly what I'm doing in a gym. I know exactly what I'm looking for. I know exactly what to get, how to get, what I want to get. I know that food is an adaptation process as well, eating. It's more important to focus on food than it is to focus on the exercises in the gym. They're secondary. Food is the most important because you adapt. And if you adapt to what you're eating, you can't grow. It's really simple. And then comes the second part of lifting, and these nuclei, they synthesize protein. That's what they fucking do, man. Without them, you can't further that MND size limit.
Crazy shit that we're talking about. And it seems to be primarily heavy eccentric muscle contractions at long muscle lengths.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. I'm doing heavy eccentric contractions, only the difference is now I'm conditioning. I'm not trying to damage any muscle fibers. I'm conditioned. They don't get damaged that easily. I think you're confused. You don't even know how to damage muscle fibers. Are you getting pain? Are you getting DOMS? Is it lasting for days? Are you getting weakness? Problems with motion and restriction, like when you move your arms around? Like, there's a lot of shit going on there when you really get muscle damage. And you could be getting damaged, but you may not be growing any more muscles because you're adapted. Your food, so you're adapted to what you're eating. You need to be in an anabolic growth state for those muscles to truly repair, remodel, bigger and stronger. They could just repair, and they might not even grow. You may not get.
You want to be a YouTuber, but don't have a high-end computer.
Shit, sorry about that. I think I hit something here. Fuck.
Eccentric muscle contractions at long muscle lengths. Get it?
Yeah.
So that's why they're saying very hardcore machine-assisted stretching can.
That's why I'm using cable machines, and it's the active tension, the consistent tension. When I was laying on the floor, that is an eccentric movement. Pulling down is the eccentric movement. It's the contraction on the way up. On the way up. You were asking me, why am I moving like slow or something? Because it's just particular. I'm moving in a particular direction. I'm looking and feeling the exercise. I'm feeling it out. Now, I'm not causing any muscle damage.
2 years into eccentric muscle.
I'm not looking for, sorry about that. I'm not looking for muscle damage. I'm adapted. I know I'm not getting damaged because I'm not sore during the exercise. I'm not sore after the exercise, and I'm not sore the day after the exercise. So there's fucking nothing going on there, okay? There's nothing going on. I'm just conditioning. I'm just using up energy so it can eat the fat. That's it. I'm on a carnivore diet, dude.
Contractions at long muscle lengths.
Yeah.
Get it?
Yeah.
So that's why they're saying very hardcore machine assisted stretching can also increase muscle fascicle lengths and thickness. See, regular
No, machines can't do that. They can't thicken the muscles. They can't do anything. They can stretch the muscle, but they can't thicken them up. The progenitor cell, if it's activated, if there is damage and it's activated, now it can do something. And then it needs material called food. You need to be in an anabolic growth state. I told you before, it applies to everything. Protein synthesis needs to exceed that breakdown to see that mass. That applies as well for the repair and remodeling and muscle damage, not just trying to get contractile proteins. Shit, man. You are adapted to your food. You need to unadapt. Your body adapts rapidly to 4 meals or 6 meals. They don't work anymore. They don't work, bro. Get it?
regular lifting can only increase thickness. It can't increase length.
It can't do that. It can't do that if it's adapted. You can't get any of that.
Or so they say, right? That's why what they're saying is if you pull your arm like this, and that's as far as you go, if somebody grabs your arm.
That's not what they're saying. You want to know what they're saying? I'll tell you what they're saying. I guess I have to explain this to you because you don't know anything. All right, if you go into NCBI, can exercise-induced muscle damage be avoided? Can it be avoided? Well, yeah. Muscle damage can be avoided. You know how? I'll explain how this works. All athletes have experienced this discomfort and debilitating effects of exercise-induced damage. It's discomfort. It's debilitating and it's discomfort. Muscle damage is it's discomfort and it's debilitating. What does that mean, debilitating? What does that mean to you? You understand me? Lack of abilities. So symptoms are most common at the beginning of the season when intense training is reintroduced after a period of what? Relative inactivity, relaxive or whatever inactivity. A plethora of scientific data describes exercise conditions that lead to muscle damage. It is well accepted that damage occurs with what? Unfamiliar exercise and unaccustomed. We know that. It never says people that are accustomed are getting muscle damage. Primarily involving eccentric contractions. Eccentric, primarily from the eccentric contraction. We know that. Okay. So for example, downhill running places a large eccentric stress on what? On the quadriceps muscle group and commonly results in what? Muscle damage. However, it will rapidly adapt in that downhill run. You understand me? But if you want more adaptations in downhill runs, then you're going to have to change the inclination of the hill. You're going to have to change it from 10 to 20, 30, 40, 50. All right. However, muscles that have been preconditioned, that's you, muscles that are being preconditioned with what? Eccentric contractions are protected. They're protected against what? Damage from subsequent bouts of eccentric exercise. I am now protected in my exercise because I'm like you, like a fucking chronic lifter, a lifting slave in the gym right now because I'm conditioning myself. So I know that my muscles will protect themselves because my routine is split. Number one, it's split. Because I'm lazy like you motherfuckers. I split my routine. I'm not doing full body routine. If I did, even if I did a full body every day I come in there, let's say I did a full body every day I come in, that's just crazy, man. That's just crazy. But I could do that, right? I'd still be protected though. Because why? Because it's preconditioned. So this muscle damage is known as the repeated bout effect and has been shown with various forms of exercise of both humans and animal, whatever. Despite the many studies describing this muscle damage and various clinical symptoms, have identified intrinsic causative factors or suitable interventions in limiting the symptoms. They don't want to limit the symptoms. They don't want to get muscle damage. They don't want to grow. They don't want to grow any muscles or anything. But they tell you here, control experiment studies have shown wide variation in symptoms between subjects after a bout of unfamiliar eccentric exercise. See that? Yeah, man. So you could read this if you want. It causes all kinds of problems. Stretching, warm up and stretching are known to greatly reduce muscle stiffness because of stiffness. So that's you're reducing stiffness, okay, by stretching. Somebody pulled your arm, whatever, because stiffness seems to what? To predispose muscles to what? Damage. Damage. It'll predispose it to it. So you're not getting anything, okay? I don't know, man. So, yeah, like I said, you can read this if you want. I'm not going to go through the whole thing. And there's even more stuff I could read here. I might even bring it out later. I don't know. So, it's resilient from being busted. I'll talk about it in a minute. Let's hear what else you have to say here.
And pulls it back more, you're gonna get this donation of sarcomeres in the moment, according to this theory.
You're not going to get a donation just because you stretched your arm out for 1 second. You stretched my arm for 1 second. Look, I got a donation of sarcomeres. They appeared magically out of the air. What the fuck are you talking about?
And it's going to give you that increased range of motion. It's going to cause more muscle damage.
If that is true, if everybody would just go like this with their arm, they get a donation of these sarcomeres, then why isn't anybody getting bigger in the gym? Why are they all complaining about fake natties and people on steroids? Dude.
Or, second theory.
If it was that easy, everybody would be doing it.
It could cause passive tension. Passive mechanical tension. We all know it's all about that loading.
Passive mechanical tension means, it's like mechanical tension means like the cable machine. That is mechanical tension. Weights on you, like, dumbbells, bench press, mechanical tension, yeah.
Unloading, active, passive. But what is it? What is it?
I don't think
I'm doing this for your
I don't think you know.
audience, because your audience keeps saying that I'm a liar and I keep bullshitting and making things up. But according to this abstract from this study, right here, it says it right here. Right here.
Yeah, what does it say?
You see what it says? What it says right there?
Yeah, what does it say?
Muscles passive tension arises from elastic, like a rubber band, spring-like elements, stretch.
Yeah, we know that in the sarcomere. It's just springy material in there. It stretches. Look, see? Look, I'm stretching it now. My arm's stretching. So is yours. You move your arm out, it stretches. It stretches. It's repetitive stretches that cause the muscle to cause these micro injuries. Repetitive, heavy, eccentric exercises, yes, but they don't happen all the time.
Beyond their resting length, beyond where they normally rest, while active tension is generated, blah, blah, blah. No, nobody cares. And they have this illustration right here. You see, if somebody brings something to their chest like this, they get a lot of active tension. They bring the bar like this to anything. They just bring it to this distance, and they get a lot of active tension.
It's a known fact that stretching weakens you. They tell you not to stretch because it weakens you. People stretch, and then they want to bench press, and they can't figure out why they've stretched before they start exercising, and then they're in a weakened position.
But they don't get a lot of passive tension. But if somebody were to grab your arm or grab my arm and pull it back like this, all the way back like this, the way I do those fucking, you see those dumbbell flies to the floor, you're bringing all the way back to the floor.
Yeah, I just see it swinging like that for a couple of seconds. Okay, and what about it, man? What about it?
Or you get more passive tension. And when you get more passive tension, the tension on the cellular level, the muscular cellular level, and this is according to this graph, rises exponentially as you go to the limits of what the...
Yeah, it rises and this and that, but you're preconditioned. You're a chronic lifter. It's protected. There isn't any damage. There's nothing going on there. There's nothing going on there, but you're swelling the cells. That's about it. You're getting some, I don't know, inflammation.
Muscle can stretch to with the addition of these filaments and stretching materials.
Yeah,
You see, it's all in science. It's not. I didn't make this up. This is not. Did I make this graph up? No, this is the passive tension graph.
Yeah, it can stretch. It can stretch. So guess what? It can stretch. It can stretch. But guess what? I have news for you. You can even read this one if you want. Do exercise-induced muscle damage play a role in skeletal muscle hypertrophy? Well, yeah, we know it does, okay? It even tells you it occurs what primarily from performance of what? Unaccustomed exercise. That's when damage happens, unaccustomed. Again, unfamiliar, unaccustomed, untrained muscles get this damage. They tell you right here at this right here at the bottom, it tells you that this is a strengthening effect. Short-term effects of markers, pain, performance, and pain. It has been hypothesized as skeletal muscle inflammation and increased protein turnover are necessary for long-term hypertrophic adaptations. You're not getting any adaptations. Theoretical basis of the belief this has been proposed within MND. Okay, so influence gene expression resulting in a strengthening of the tissue and thus, so it's this EIMD, this muscle damage is an adaptation. The influence in gene expression resulting in what? In a strengthening of the tissue and thus protecting of muscle against what? Further injury. So it's protecting muscles from what? Protecting them from further what? Injury. There's no more muscle micro injuries because it's protecting it. It's an adaptation process. That's why you get damaged the first time. You get this damage and then it's protected. It happens although eccentric and isometric contractions contribute to EIMD. The greatest damage in muscle tissue is seen with eccentric exercise. That I know. It's a combination of isometric with the eccentric exercise, where muscles are forcibly lengthened. We know forcibly lengthened. Damage can be specific to just a few micromolecules in tissues or result in large tears in the sarcolemma. Now, you can have small damage, which just repairs and remodels, and you can have larger damage, which can repair and remodel and lay down tracks of muscle fibers. So there are many ways to trick your body into laying down these tracks of fibers. Little damage and massive damage. You can sit in a stretched position on the floor for hours, and yeah, most likely maybe it'll give you these sarcomeres, numbers and length and whatever, and fibers and shit and whatever, bro. Okay? So yeah, it could do a lot of stuff, man. So yeah, large tears, whatever. Supportive connective tissue inducing injury and contractile elements. Cytoskeleton, although EID can be detrimental in short-term effects, the markers of performance and pain has been hypothesized as social skeletal muscle inflammation. Blah. So yeah, that was one there. You can read that for yourself. You can find it. It's NCBI if you don't believe me. There's even another one here I have. I don't even know where the other one is. There's also this one here. Signaling in muscle contractions. So you could read this. It's complicated. It's complex. Signaling pathways regulate contractions of skeletal and cardiac and smooth muscle, although there's similar striking differences. Pathways attribute to Goes on and on forever. Anyway, let's go back to your video.
We know this. This is all true. This is all based in science. You see, straight from PubMed. Straight from PubMed. Changes in passive tension of muscles in humans and animals after eccentric exercise. You see the...
Yeah. After unfamiliar forms of eccentric exercise or unaccustomed or unfamiliar forms of eccentric exercise. It doesn't say anywhere in there chronic exercise, eccentric exercise will get you these muscles in parallel, whatever. Won't damage muscles anymore. It's protected, bro. I think you don't understand what an adaptation process is in muscles and why it adapts rapidly, making it strong so it doesn't get any more damage. I think you don't understand why it does that. I don't think you understand anything.
Last two things it says: after 150 eccentric contractions, passive tension. What?
Man, you could do that exercise forever, and I guarantee you are never going to build any muscles doing that exercise. You will never build any muscles going to the gym the way you're going right now. Ever, ever, ever. I mean, ever. You're always going to look the same, small and weak. That's it. Well, I wouldn't say you're not bad at lifting some of these weights. You definitely are practicing at lifting them. That's an adaptation process in chemical strength. You may be getting an adaptation in chemical strength, but you're not going to get any more adaptations in getting physically stronger.
Significantly elevated over most of the range of lengths. So we know it's important. And we know that it is suggested that the rise in passive tension in both human and animal muscles after eccentric contractions is a result of development of injury contractures in damaged muscle fibers. You see?
You know, cheetahs and lions and tigers and things and whatever, lions and all these cats, they rest a lot. They walk a lot. They don't run all the time. They don't run. They can run. They're built to run fast, but it's unnatural to run. And even animals know that. And so they don't run for long periods of time. So what do you think? Why do you think they can't run for a long distance? They can't go very long in long distance runs because they get damaged, because they're unaccustomed and unfamiliar. When they do start running fast, they're unaccustomed to doing that. And what is unaccustomed exercise known for? To cause widespread muscle damage. And what are the symptoms? Reduced force capacities, range of motion, and a whole bunch of stuff. So if they don't get their meal right away in that first run, they're done, man. They're going to have to wait 2, 3, maybe 4 days. They're going to have to wait a couple days until the muscle repairs and remodels itself. Now, are you going to see the mass? Are you going to see the mass? They'll get some density. Some density will build up in there for sure, it's a little bit. But will they see the mass? Hell no, they're not going to see any mass because protein synthesis needs to exceed that breakdown to see that mass. You understand me? To see that mass on that myofibrillar. You may not see anything there. You have hundreds of thousands of fibers. Just because you added a couple, like 10 or 20, that doesn't mean you're going to see that density right away. It takes a lot to see even the density, never mind the mass.
This is what you talk about. So what I'm doing is what you're talking about.
What are you doing? What I'm talking about? What are you
doing? Eccentric muscle damage.
No, you're not. You're not doing that. It doesn't work in splits. It doesn't work in splits, and it has to be unaccustomed or unfamiliar to that exercise, whatever you're doing.
You see, passive tension, they're all together. There's stretch mediation, all of it. All of it. So everything I'm doing came from here.
Yeah, you may be doing it, but you're not doing it properly or correctly. It's flawed. What you're doing is flawed. You're flawed.
Came from this article, that article. It's all in NCBI, bro. It's all you can find.
Bro, I posted these things on my old channel, millions of them, and I even been posting them on my new channel. And people read them and they understand them, okay? Jesus.
Are you just a chronic lifter? You can't damage anymore and you're just like fooling?
I think I'm damaging it
around.
I think what I'm doing damages it more than anything else.
It's one thing to think. It's another thing to know. See what I mean? It's one thing to think, and it's another thing to actually know.
Other than literally somebody grabbing your arm and trying to break it and rip it.
In the gym.
That can result in a contusion, a really bad injury. Now that isn't a micro injury. That is a severe injury then. And you may need medical attention for that. Okay, that's something different, dude. You may not even be able to use your arm.
Or is this like, what is this? Is this, I don't understand this. Are you on medication or something?
No, I'm not. I'm actually off.
Is it affecting you? You shouldn't take it when you go to the gym, man. Honestly, you shouldn't.
I wish I could be on that fucking Adderall
medication when you go to the gym, okay? This is what happens when you don't listen to mom.
Mom wouldn't ever want me on medication.
My God. This is dangerous. This is dangerous, man. You can hurt yourself doing that.
Well, yeah, what do you think? That we're trying to create injuries, aren't we? What, are injuries?
No, we're trying to create micro injuries. We're not trying to severely injure ourselves to put us out of the gym, bro. Man, I think you don't know how to read science.
If I don't think injuries are safe, what?
Come on.
Imagine everybody's looking at me. Everybody's looking at me. They're like, "Wow, how is he able to float in the air and do these flat dumbbell curls? What the fuck?" I love.
No, the people in the gym, they think you're nuts. That's not how you get over MND size. That's not how you get over repeated butt effect. That's not how you get over any of these things doing that.
Love it. That's great. I'm a pioneer. I'm the greatest. What can any other natural? Can any other fucking natural do this shit? You see any other naturals doing this? Can other humans do this? Or am I the first and only forever and ever?
You know, you can cause some severe damage in your rotor
Yes, we want damage.
cuff here. I'm telling you, in the future.
No. And you don't want to damage rotary cuffs. You want to damage type 2 muscle fibers, but not your rotary cuff, man, dude. Like,
You're gonna regret doing
Well, what if? Well, how else do you get this damage?
these movements when you get older.
by doing it properly and not stupidly, that's how you get these micro injuries. By doing it in an intelligent manner, logically and intelligently. Jesus.
Trust me, you're gonna regret doing this stupid shit when you get
But-
older, man.
According to the literature, this is the smart shit. This is what causes that. Eccentric.
No, literature didn't say you had to bend over like that and use your let your rotor cuff like pull back with the weight and everything. This is just a really weird position. It's odd.
Damage.
It's dangerous. You're putting yourself in a dangerous position, okay?
Bro,
And this is stupid shit. Come on, Prophet. You know this.
you know that the literature says that this is the way to grow your biceps. This is the way to cause muscle.
No, this is not how you grow. Weights don't grow, man. Weights don't grow biceps, dude. The weights can cause injury to a bicep. You understand me? It can cause injury to a bicep. That's about it. It could cause disruption in the coupling system. Even if you are adapted, let's say you're adapted and you're lifting, you're causing some disruption there to the sarcomere and the coupling system. So if you were to eat in an anabolic growth state and you were doing that, then you may get an adaptation in mass, in more contractile proteins, because you have shut down the catabolic hormone and these proteins from breaking down by being in an anabolic growth state by eating. So you can now build up these contractile proteins on the myofibrillar. But again, it's going to reach an MND size limit at some point. You need these nuclei to synthesize more protein, more contractile proteins, as opposed to loading glycogen proteins, because glycogen proteins are not muscle contractile proteins, dude. Get it?
Damage in your biceps.
This is stupid shit, man. Come on. This is ridiculous.
Dude, muscle damage is extremely difficult. Again, to damage muscles, they're so resilient from getting damaged. They just are so protected, the repeated butt effect, and a whole bunch of other things. It's almost like impossible to damage muscle fibers. That's why people are not growing in gyms. They don't understand what this muscle damage is. And even if you were to damage and repair and remodel, you may not get a donation of these nuclei because there's nothing for it to give it to you to bypass this MND size limit. It has to reach a limit in contractile proteins on that myofibrillar, and then it can be pushed further. That's why it's extremely difficult. I mean, almost impossible. But hey, if you want to put on sarcoplasmic hypertrophy, that's the easiest type of fake muscle to put on. It's based on glycogen proteins. It isn't based on contractile proteins. So you're not going to get stronger, but you'll look big. And then you could pretend you're strong by getting adaptations in chemical strength, by being good at lifting a sofa in the gym off the floor. Get it, bro? Like a sofa, like a factory worker.
It looks so much easier than it feels. Yeah.
I don't get it, man. You're curling or stretching. Is this a chest exercise or biceps exercise?
Just a fucking chest exercise. I'm sure somebody would grow their chest from this too, because look at it. Fucking look at this shit.
I don't get.
Even your front delts.
You won't grow your chest from doing that. It's not going to grow your chest. From just doing that is not going to grow your chest. Man, I think this person is out to lunch.
Not me, but fucking somebody else will grow their front delts from this.
Get it, man. Are you feeling good, like leaning over this thing?
I feel incredible. I feel like a greatest lifter in the world. Anyway, I have to prove it. I have to prove that this is a real exercise. You see, I had to go ask somebody else who wasn't me. I had to ask a PhD. Get it?
What? You're going to ask some fucking young guy, some goat, some weird dude on the internet you found on YouTube? I don't even like this guy. I don't even like his voice. I can't stand his beard. He needs to shave that shit off.
Somebody who wasn't me, a PhD. And they told you, what's the best exercise? What's the...
Dude, how do you know I don't have a PhD, man? How do you know what I have? How do you know anything? You don't know anything, all right?
best fucking bicep exercise? Look at what he says.
I think the single-handedly reigning champ of bicep exercises is the seated behind the back cable curl. Let me break it down. By being seated and by using cable in the wheel function or...
Again, so what? And are you telling me that the seated curl is going to get over the repeated bout effect somehow magically because he put his arms behind there to pull it from behind? I've done these, and so what? And so what? If you're adapted to your exercises, if you're preconditioned, you're not going to get any damage. That's the whole point. The whole point in the athletic world, I'm not talking about in gyms. In the athletic world, their whole premise is not to get muscle damage because they know it weakens you. It puts you in a weakened, compromised position. And you can get a severe injury if you're damaged now and trying to do these sports. So just like I read there, these sports people, the downhill running, this and that, whatever, they don't want to get damaged. That's the whole point. You're going to say, well, we're getting damaged in the gym. Unfortunately, whether they want to get damaged or not, they won't because of the repeated bout effect phenomenon. It's a protective effect. Your body protects you from any more damage. You understand me? Like I said, your body doesn't want to build muscles. It doesn't want to put on muscle whatsoever. And it doesn't even put it on, even if it is damaged. You could be damaging the same muscles over and over again, ridiculously doing nothing there, doing nothing. You have to stand on the scale to see if you're growing. And then again, you're not growing because you're not eating, because you're adapted to your 3, 4, 5, 6 meals a day. They're worthless. Your meals are worthless. And so it doesn't work with the damage. The meals and the damage, they don't work together. They need to work harmoniously. Harmoniously, they need to work together. The eating and the breaking down of muscle fibers, if you can get them to do that unaccustomedly or unfamiliar, it has to be harmoniously. The food, you have to be anabolic growth state. The breaking of the muscle, yeah, so that you're stronger. Also, you suppress the catabolic hormone so that the catabolic hormone converts to an androgen, so it doesn't have to compete with the myocytic androgen receptor, giving you maximum force production in your exercises. You're going to be stronger. You can go further, damage more muscle fibers, the weaker ones, and they'll grow bigger, better, stronger, and faster, and you'll keep growing. Success is a short window. It isn't something you're going there forever, doing this forever. Bodybuilding is not a sport. That's why in sports, they definitely don't want to get damaged, for sure. It'll weaken them.
Movement, I'll be using the terms. There's a few things you can do. Extend your shoulders and get a deeper stretch in the long head of your biceps.
See, look what
Secondly,
he's doing.
set up the cable so that...
The only difference is he's using a cable. That's it. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because there's more active tension there to cause more active tension to pull the eccentric movement, to pull the arm in the eccentric movement. And it's a stopping motion at the same time, and then there's a pull there. So there's more tension on the sarcomere. That's about it, on the muscle fibers. Okay.
And I'm rotating the wrist like this. And also I'm elevating this way. So there's a bunch of different things, but it's basically
Okay, so what is the point? What are you trying to say here exactly? Are you saying this machine's going to build muscle or is it going to damage it magically?
it's basically the same thing, guys. It's basically the same fucking thing as that, but I'm doing it with dumbbells. You see, if that's the best exercise ever, then what about me? What am I doing? The best exercise ever. You see,
But it won't matter if you're adapted. You're coming into gym to do what? Get adaptations and being good at lifting a sofa? See what I mean, man? What are you talking about, bro? What are you talking about?
it's all evidence. It's all based in the literature, guys. Muscle damage, eccentrics. Anyway, back to the coach.
Again, muscle damage. Muscles don't damage all the time. They damaged when you first came in the gym as an untrained person. You call it newbie gains. You would be right. Newbie gains. You reached the genetic limit, got your newbie gains, you hard gainer and all this kind of stuff. You people always say, I reached my genetic limit, newbie gains, whatever, something. You reach some kind of limit. There's nothing going on over there. Yeah, you're not getting damaged. Well, you think that the damage is going to magically grow muscles if you're adapted to your 4, 5, 6 meals a day. Nope, never.
Team superiority, team profit fear. We got to get back to the coach. What does coach say about this?
Look, man, sometimes I eat 2 roast chickens in a day. 2 roast chickens without like going down a buffet or anything. I just eat 2 roast chickens straight, 2 roast chickens. And even 2 roast chickens isn't enough after a damaging session. I could tell you this much. It is so important to, after you've damaged your whole upper body that on the day, you're able to get this damage. Let's say you damage your whole upper body. You need to eat astronomically high for hours after that workout. It is the most important to eat right after that workout. Yeah, man. And then after that, it's still important, but especially after that workout.
I mean, what are the people doing in the gym watching you? You could be a liability for the gym owner, man. They may kick you out of there. You got to be careful.
I should ask
They'll look
my
at you
fucking
doing this
manager in the
stupid
gym
shit.
to
You could
talk
be a
about
liability,
this.
man. You could
That's
get
how I'll
injured,
tell
and
you
then
guys
what?
why
You're
he
gonna
didn't kick
contact
me
their
out.
insurance company, and they're gonna like, what? You want money? You gotta be careful. They'll look at you doing this stupid shit. You could be a liability, man. You could get injured, and then what? They're gonna contact their insurance company, and they're gonna like, what? You want money?
Okay. The funny thing about that is of all the things in the world that I've done and showed you guys, hundreds of lifts, hundreds. This is the one that shook him up. He's like, bro, this is gonna get you hurt. Not the crazy fucking toe, fucking sissy reverse Nordic curl squat shit. Not the fucking dips where I bring my fucking head to my fucking genitals to my dick. Not the fucking dumbbell fly curl things where I bring the fucking dumbbells to the floor. Not every lift that I do. This is the one that he's like, bro, you're gonna get
Dude, you're an amateur, man. You don't know what you're doing.
hurt. This one. Anyway, I think this.
You're not even an athlete. Bro, look, I'm an athlete. I was a diver. I was a swimmer. I played ice hockey, skating. I played professional soccer. I played basketball. I played so many sports. I was a runner. I did cross country running. I did long distance. I ran marathons. I did everything. I did a triathlon. I even enrolled once in a strongman competition when I reached the weight of 285. I did a strongman competition once. What else did I never did any bodybuilding shows. I could have. I never did it because they're all drugs. It's all drugs there. And even the strongman stuff, you can't trust them. They're on drugs. That's why I didn't like it. Here's another thing. And yeah, so, bro, I've been in so many sports, short distance, long distance, you name it, man. So I've done a lot of things when it comes to sports, even volleyball, you name it. Every kind of sport I've involved myself in it. Definitely I involved myself. So, and I experiment to find out what will give me what and what will do what. That's how I'm so good at knowing these things and understanding how they work, these adaptations. But you lack experience. That's your problem. I'm older than you. I'm in my late 50s. I got more experience than you. And I'm still learning all my life. And I'll keep learning. And you're going to keep learning yourself too. You're going to have to learn somehow. I don't know.
Video has been, we'll go a little longer.
What if you cripple yourself, man?
If you're stubborn, you can't learn, Prophet.
This lift, of all the things I do, imagine me if I got crippled by this, I really should fucking leave the gym and forever just leave. Like, really? This fucking shit, this 35-pound dumbbell?
What if you cripple yourself doing that, and
What
then you
if?
can never come back again? You end up in a wheelchair.
Hell yeah. From this, I'm gonna tear my bicep and it's gonna go all the way down to my leg and it's gonna make me paraplegic.
Something. Might become an invalid or something.
I don't know what it's going to do, but it could cripple you, that's for sure.
Watch this class, man. I failed. You see, I failed.
I'm telling you off the bat, that is not smart. Okay, Prophet Fear, that is not smart, bro. I saw you reviewed one of my workout videos.
I probably will have to do that. I have to do that evaluation. I'll have to do a response to that on a different video. This video has been too long, but it's great to see discourse between members of hashtag Team Superiority. We're fucking superior, better, spectacular, amazing, better than all you fucking people who don't do this crazy shit, this eccentric damage. You guys are missing out. You guys need to listen to Team Genetic Beast. You need to listen to Genetic Beast. You need to listen to me. You don't need to listen to these other fucking goofs. These other fucking goof powerlifters who don't know anything about passive tension or stretch mediation or muscle damage. Just listen to us. Anyway, guys, I'm gonna go do my fucking exercise, chronic lifting, stupid bullshit, and I'll see you guys fucking later.
Jesus, that was incredible, man. I'll see you in the next one. Tell us what you think about that. Like, subscribe, comment down below. Man, that guy was just too much. See you later.